Welcome to our homework video. If you are watching, thanks for joining. Please make sure you are doing the work, pausing if you need to as you're working, if I'm going too fast, or you solving before you look at my answers. Let's go ahead and start. We're looking at lesson 2 of module 14. And this is where we are representing decimal subtraction. Page 131 of your practice book. So it says, Antonio left his math board on his desk during lunch. The quick picture below shows the problem he was working on when he left. Do you have a word problem that can be solved using the picture? And then solve. So there are we talked about word problems before. There are a variety that you could do. Remember, in subtraction, we start with that whole group. So if you want to pause and think about your word problem, what you need to decide is we're starting with 3 whole squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tenths, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hundredths. And it looks like in this word problem, you would be taking away 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 42 hundredths. So your word problem should have something to do with that. Shayna has 3 and 67 hundredths feet of rope. She is going to cut 2 and 42 hundredths to use for a project. How much rope will she have left? So as long as you are starting with 3 and 67 hundredths, and you are taking 2 and 42 hundredths from that. All right. And then your answer, as you can see from the model, the answer would be 1 and 25 hundredths. Yes? Okay, I think so. All right. As we go on to number 2, Lynn goes on a 4 and 5/10 mile hike. After 1 hour, the trail marker shows that she has hiked 3 and 14 hundredths miles. How much farther does she have to hike? Use a quick picture to find your answer. So we should know our expression would be 4 and 5/10 minus 3 and 14 hundredths. So I want to start that quick picture. I have 4 whole squares and 5 tenths. So we always start in our hundredths. If I have 0 hundredths, but I have to take away 4 of them, what I need to do is regroup. Take away one of our tenths, and now I will have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hundredths, and now I can take away 4 of them. I move on to my tenths. I now have 4 tenths, and I'm taking away 1 of them. I have four whole squares, and I'm taking away 3 of them. So my final answer should be 1 and 1, 2, 3 tenths and 6 hundredths, 1 and 36 hundredths. Let's check that. I'm going to go back up here where I have room. 4 and 5 tenths minus 3 and 14 hundredths. As we talked about in class, I have nothing in this hundredths place, so I'm going to fill that in with a 0, and that does not change the value of my original number. Now I'm going to regroup. I have 6, 4 minus 1 is 3, 4 minus 3 is 1. 1 and 36 hundredths miles. That will be your answer. Quick picture, checked it with the equation. A notebook costs $2.35 and a marker costs $1.87. How much more does the notebook cost than a marker? So again, I'm going to look. I have $2. So I have 2 whole dollars. Oops, I put a decimal. 2 whole dollars. I have 3 tenths and I have 5 hundredths. So I need to take 7 hundredths from that. So I'm going to rename and regroup that tenth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to take away 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These right here are gone. I have 8/10 that I need to take away. I only have 2. So I'm going to rename one of these whole squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to take away 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what do I have? Oh, I forgot my whole. I have 2. I had 2. Now I'm taking away 1. I only had that 1 left. So it looks like I have, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 48 hundredths. I have $0.48 then, if I'm talking money. Let's see if that's how much more the notebook costs. I'm going to do $2.35 minus $1.87. 5 minus 7, I need to regroup. 15 minus 7 equals 8. 2 minus 8, I need to regroup. 12 minus 8 equals 4. Drop my decimal. 1 minus 1 is 0. There's our 48 cents. All right. Use the decimal model to show the difference. I had somebody in one of the classes today, you know who you are, who suggested that we outline what we have or highlight. So we have 65 hundredths. Each of these little blocks is representing a hundredth. So if I have 65, I would have 6 whole columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'd go all the way to here. And then I have another 5. So here's my 6/10 or 60 hundredths. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 5 more. And then this person said that we could shade in what we're subtracting. We're subtracting a whole 3/10 or 30 hundredths. Sorry about the phone ringing. And then 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what do we have left? We have 2 whole tenths left, 2 whole columns, and then 7 more. So the difference would be 27 hundredths. And again, if I line up my decimals, I was going to make that stop. If I line them up and do the work, I have to regroup. So I have 15 minus 8 is 7. 5 minus 3 is 2. Drop my decimal, 0. All right, there's our answer. I explained it as I was doing it. So if you write out an explanation, that's fine, or if you could talk about it. I know these say to show a visual model, we're just going to line up and subtract. So if we had this, since we did all of this modeling up here, let's just do the subtracting. Line up those decimals and subtract. We have 5/10. 4 and 5/10 minus 2 and 3/10. Subtract. Drop your decimal. Subtract. 2 and 2/10. We have 5 and 3/10 minus 3 and 86 hundredths. So here we have an empty space. I'm going to fill it in with a 0. Then I have to regroup. 10 minus 6 is 4. Regroup. 12 minus 8 is 4. Drop your decimal. 4 minus 3 is 1. All right. So get a little practice making sure you're lining up those decimals, keeping everything in its place. All right, let's see if you're ready for this test prep. You might want to pause right now and do this side and then come back and check your answers with me. A binder costs $2.68. A book costs $5. How much more does the book cost than the binder? So I have $5. I'm going to show the $5 with the decimal and the 2 zeros in the tenths and the hundredths because I'm subtracting 2 and 68 hundredths or $2.68. We talked about the variety of ways you can do subtracting across zeros. Do what works best for you. How do you like to do it? This is kind of a good way for me. I'm going to take that box and put that take 1 away from that, what would be a 50? And then I'm going to make it a 49. I'm going to then add that 10. Oh my gosh. So now 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 6 is 3. Drop that decimal. 4 minus 2 is 2. We are talking money. $2.32. Our answer would be letter A. Good. Janet has a piece of rope that is 2 3/33 meters long. She wants to cut the rope so that it is 1 5/10 meters long. How much does she cut off? So we're going to take that 2 3/33 and we're going to subtract 1 5/10. Again, line up those decimals and you'll see that we need to add a 0. 1 5/10 is the same as 1 50/100. So we didn't change that value. We subtract. 3 minus 0 is 3. 3 minus 5, we need to regroup and do 13 minus 5 equals 8. Drop your decimal. 1 minus 1 equals 0. We're going to say she cuts off 0 and 83/100 meters. Use the decimal model to show the difference. I'm going to again highlight 74/100. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 full columns because we know that that would be 70/100 or 7/10. And then I have 4 more. And I need to subtract. So I need to subtract 2/10, 2 whole tenths, and then 6/100. There's 4 there and 2 more there. What does that leave me with? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 full columns. Those are 4/10. And then here I have 8 more hundredths. So we would have 0 and 48/100 in that model. Select all the expressions that have a value of 1 and 48/100. We have to do some work, just like we did yesterday. We need to look at each of these. 3 and 84/100 minus 2 and 36/100. I have to regroup. 14 minus 6 is 8. 7 minus 3 is 4. Drop your decimal. 3 minus 2 is 1. Letter A looks good. 5 and 74/100 minus 3 and 26/100. Regroup. 14 minus 6 is 8. 5 minus 2 is 3. Do I even need to go any further? I need a 4 in that 10th place, so that doesn't work. 4 and 75/100 minus 3 and 27/100. Regroup. 15 minus 7 equals 8. 6 minus 2 equals 4. Drop your decimal. 4 minus 3 equals 1. C looks good. 4 and 56/100 minus 3 and 18/100. 6 minus 8, I have to regroup. 16 minus 8 equals 8. 4 minus 1 equals 3. I'm not going to keep going. That one's not going to work. And 5 and 27/100 minus 3 and 79/100. 7 minus 9. We're going to regroup. 17 minus 9 equals 8. 1 minus 7. I have to regroup. 11 minus 7. Drop your decimal. 4 minus 3. So it looks like A, C, and E. I'll take it. All right, just like last night, we skipped the converting for now, so we're going to skip that. Find the product. Multiply across, right? When we have fractions that we're multiplying, 3 times 3 is 9. 5 times 4 is 20. 9/20ths. Always easy. 2 6 times 4 eighths would give us 8 48ths. Or if you recognize that that could be simplified, it would be 1 6. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 48 divided by 8 is 6. Okay, that's it. I'm going to give you a problem to solve and write the answer for, so that will be how I know that you completed this video. I will see you in class next time. Thanks for joining in the video. Oh, let's see if I can get going. Bye.